Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of WYO Arsenal Roundup News. My name is Espinoza and I'm your host. We are your primary source for Second Amendment news, whether if it's good, bad, or ugly, whether if it will benefit your Second Amendment rights or do harm to your Second Amendment rights, whether it be here in the great state of Wyoming or any part of the United States. We keep you up to date on what is important for you to know about what is going on with your Second Amendment rights. Well, today I was watching a video from Mark Smith of Four Box Diner, and he was exposing the Rhino Republicans who have betrayed the Second Amendment and many gun owners. And there are a lot of Rhino Republicans that definitely need to be voted out of office for what they have done. And this also relates to the next subject I'll be talking about, is that I received a email from Eric Pratt of Gun Owners of America, and he's talking about what the House and Ways Committee is voting on reforming the National Firearms Act. For those of you who know about the National Firearms Act, in my opinion, it is probably one of the most unconstitutional laws that's ever been passed in the United States. And this law was passed during the time when Franklin Delano Roosevelt was president. During the Roosevelt administration, they passed the National Firearms Act, also known as the National Machine Gun Act, to make it illegal for you to own a machine gun, which I believe is totally unconstitutional because of what happened during the time of the Chicago gangsters. Roosevelt decided to infringe upon a constitutional right. Now, imagine you've been handed down a family heirloom. Let's say your great-grandpa or your grandpa gives you a Thompson machine gun that shoots 45 ACP and has been part of the family for years. Or let's say your grandpa or your great-grandpa came back from World War II and gave you a little memento, a little heirloom of, let's say, for example, a German Sturmgewehr as a war trophy. And we all know that Sturmgewehrs are machine guns. They are full auto guns. Imagine that was given to you by your great-grandpa or your grandpa as a war trophy, but the government wants to put an infringement on your constitutional right. They want you to pay a fee or a registration fee, or you can't have it. Well, that's something that Gun Owners of America has been fighting for many years. They've been working tooth and nail to abolish the National Firearms Act altogether, and well, it should be, because the Constitution clearly states the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That means our right to owning arms shall not be infringed. Our founding fathers knew, and they knew from the start, that eventually firearm technology would change. They knew it would. So that is why they used the word in the clause of the Constitution, the right to keep and bear arms. Otherwise, they would use the term right to bear muskets. But you'll hear the argument from the anti-gun left saying that the founding fathers did not intend these weapons as part of the Constitution. Yes, they did, because again, they knew firearm technology would change. Now, if you go back into colonial time, during the time of the 18th century, yeah, you had muskets, but there was also a semi-auto weapon, which was called the puckler gun. It was used during the Revolution War. It was a full auto gun, but the only difference was it shot hydrogen bullets made out of hydrogen. But still, it was a full auto weapon, and it was used. So that's why the founding fathers used the term right to keep and bear arms, not right to keep and bear muskets. Because if the Second Amendment only applied to muskets, then I assume that the First Amendment only applies to quill pens, right? But that's the kind of game that the anti-gun left wants to play with you every time. And they don't want to accept the reality that the founding fathers knew that technology would eventually change, and it did. And then if you go into during the time in the 19th century when they had lever action rifles, you had single action revolvers, and you go into the 20th century which is the 1900s. You had pump action shotguns. You had the 1911 pistol, and then and on and on and on. Technology changes, but rights do not. So now I am going to read to you what I was sent to my email from Gun Owners of America, so you can get a clear understanding of what we're fighting for and what this is about, what the House and Ways Means Committee. And by the time this broadcast is over with, I am assuming probably by the time this is over with, Jarrett from Guns and Gadgets will give you the results of what their decision will be. I encourage you to go to Guns and Gadgets and follow Jarrett on there and get all the information you need, because he does definitely keeps you informed. He's definitely an ultimate bulldog, as well as Mark Smith and Liberty Doll and many other Second Amendment influencers, including John Crump, who is also on top of things as well. So now I am going to read to you about what I got from GOA, and you could go on their website and you can read about this as well. And it says, the House and Ways and Means Committee has released its draft bill language ahead of the markup schedule for early afternoon today, which is today, May 13th. And what they have produced is totally, completely unacceptable. The proposal does not include the Hearing Protection Act, which is H.R. 404, or the Short Act, which is H.R. 2395. These two key measures that GOA, you have been demanding, the two key measures that are aimed at gutting the National Firearms Act. While Hearing Protection Act is aimed at removing suppressors from the NFA, the Short Act is geared toward removing short-barreled rifles, SBRSs, short-barreled shotguns, and any other weapons from the same law. Note that the Short Act would prevent future anti-gun administrations from weaponizing the NFA to go after pistol braces owners the way that Biden did. For the past year, GOA has been working diligently behind the scenes to get both of these provisions, including the budget of reconciliation packet. So basically, again, Gun Owners of America is working to reform the National Firearms Act, although I believe that the National Firearms Act should be completely abolished, and even Gun Owners of America does agree. But if our elected officials are not going to permanently get rid of the National Firearms Act, they need to at least lighten the load on things that don't need to be registered or don't need to be a fee. Now, many members of the anti-gun left, as well as these gun control supporters within Congress and the Senate, argued that suppressors were used as a sneak up for murder, or to silence somebody so that nobody knows that they're going to be shot. That's nonsense. It's basically to protect your hearing, but they don't want to accept that. And that is why Gun Owners of America has fought very hard to prevent the ATF from, how I would say it, to re-regulate or to put regulations on pistol braces, because they already did it to suppressors. Now they want to do it to pistol braces, and that's totally unacceptable. Somewhere down the line, we have to put it into this, and you have the power to do so. So what I suggest for you, my viewers, if you really want to help out any way you can, this is what I suggest that you should do. You should call this number right here at 202-225-3625 and demand that the the insert of a full Hearing Protection Act and a short act into the budget be part of the reconciliation bill. So what you need to do is call them up, let them know that you're a member of Gun Owners of America, if you're a member of Gun Owners of America, or just a simple law-abiding gun owner, and tell them how you feel about this. Tell them that this is totally unacceptable if they do not remove suppressors and pistol braces out of the National Firearms Act. But also tell them that the National Firearms Act should be completely abolished altogether. Because, again, this was a ridiculous, unconstitutional law that was passed by the late Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who at the time, I believe, was our 32nd president, who basically just basically abolished our constitutional rights. He put an infringement. Now, as I mentioned, just imagine you have a war trophy from your great-grandpa or your grandpa, whether it be from World War II or Vietnam, and it's special to you because it belonged to your great-grandpa or your grandpa, and they gave it to you as a souvenir from when they were at war, whether it be, like I said, a Sturmgewehr or even a Thompson machine gun. And Thompsons were also used during World War II, the full auto 45 ACP. Imagine that was given to you, and the government says, no, you can't have it, or unless you register it. That's just totally nonsense, and it's total BS. That is why you got to stay informed, and that is why you need to get involved. Stay active. I encourage you to join Gun Owners of America because they are the ultimate bulldog when it comes to fighting for your rights. And I will say, and I'm now convinced that the NRA is slowly making a comeback. They are making lots of improvements under the leadership of Doug Hamlin. Doug Hamlin is doing a great job. They are also joining forces with Gun Owners of America to gut out the National Firearms Act. And Doug Hamlin has done a great job with the NRA so far, and he's done a way better job than Wayne LaPierre has. And if I'm not mistaken, Doug Hamlin was a former member of the Virginia Defense League, which is a main ally of Gun Owners of America, and even Eric Pratt has praised Doug Hamlin for his work. Well, that is it for right now for WYO2A Arsenal Roundup News. I encourage you later to tune in on YouTube, follow Jarrett from Guns and Gadgets, or even follow Mark Smith from Four Box Diner, or even John Crump. They will have some updates on what is going on the House and Ways Committee, what decisions they have made. And if you have any unconstitutional laws that is going on in your state, whether it be unconstitutional or even if it will benefit your Second Amendment rights, please email me at rjespinoza. That's ESPINOZA, RJ Espinoza at roundupnews@gmail.com. So that's RJ Espinoza roundupnews@gmail.com. Tell me what state you were from. Tell me what the legislation is about. Let me know if it's good or bad. What you think about it. Will it benefit your Second Amendment rights or will it affect your Second Amendment rights? So please send me an email. Help me help you be your voice. Well, that is it for today for WYO2A Arsenal Roundup News. Have a blessed day, and remember, stay armed, stay vigilant. Protect your home, protect your family, protect your community, because that's what the Second Amendment is all about. It's not about guns, it's all about freedom. And remember, gun control is not about safety. Gun control is not about making a safer society. Gun control is about controlling you. And the government has no right to control your life.